For the purposes of having some substance to my video, since there was nothing in the yard down there today but a bunch of covered hoppers and a few gons, let's take a look at this locomotive. '61-58 locomotive. It's an old N&W engine. It's an SD40-2. That crate right there with the holes you see on the side, N&W engines always kept their spare knuckles and knuckle pins and stuff like that in that little basket right there on the side of the engine. Norfolk Southern engines always kept them up inside the engine. Take a little closer look at the parts of this engine. They got a wheel type handbrake right there on the short hood end. You can see the wheel where they turn to tighten up the handbrakes. You see that chain right there? That's what the handbrake is hooked to. That chain pulls that piston out, pulls the brakes up against those wheels along. Handbrake's on a freight car, pulls the brakes up on all the wheels, but on this locomotive it just pulls it up on those traction motors right there. You can tell by looking at the chain it's tight, so it's wound up. If the brake was released, that chain would be hanging down with some slack in it. That spring on there simply would pull the chain slack back when the brakes are released. Less likely for the brakes to stick. As you can see, they have a separate brake piston for each wheel on this type of engine. If you wanted to adjust the length of your piston, that's done right down there. That's a slack adjuster. You can pull them pins and move from one hole to the other to adjust the amount of travel that the brake piston would come out, have the proper tension against the wheels for stopping power. Here's a locomotive 5089. It's a GP38-2. This would conclude this video test, which hopefully is going to be my first one that came out right.